Giannis drops the hammer to put the Bucks up 3. Good pass. Good pass. Good pass. Catch. Dunk. Game. Just a beautiful play. That was just a beautiful play. Word for word. I could not explain it better. Pass. Yeah, it was a beautiful play. This play is low-key a genius. Need a bucket play for them to use in late game situations. Have 4 shooters in, feeding Giannis in the high post near the top of the key is genius because his personnel defender cannot allow him any space. It's true. Not because he is a great shooter, but because Giannis is that rare case of a dude that if you back up even a little from, then he can take one powerful dribble and finish a basket over or around you. Also true. This leads to the defense during Holiday's cut compromise. One of the defenders from the corners has to help. Wow, this is like an actual real basketball comment. And this is exactly what happened. Then they have the defense scrambling. If they keep moving it, there will be an open shot or at least a good one. The whole thing starts with the utilizing, and then he gets the ball on the 3-point line, and he just takes off from the 3-point line. This is actually a great analysis of what happened, which is really rare. Oh my God, even more. Look at this. This is crazy. You never see people actually talking about basketball. Batum, Kawhi closes out too hard and gets beat, but Batum is in position to help. Well, really, once he gets beat, the play is over. Sliding over to help, and Kawhi enters it back to play, meaning nobody's looking at Giannis. Batum ain't stopping. No one's going to stop Giannis regardless. The problem was that he caught the ball with no one in front of him. So he can recover to Danto, pat to Stan Giannis, and in the middle. Just going at the rotations. Strength. Just seems like a step more towards the center of the key. He was too deep, and I mean, we can watch the play again. Let's lower the volume. But, so let's see, we have some good action here. The play really starts with Giannis, and then goes around. This is the problem here. Like, Morris, at this point, the play's over. Like, look, I mean, this guy's just down on the ground. I mean, the whole entire play is literally over at this point. They're scoring here. Like, they're going to score. The Clippers literally are just rambling. And then Patrick Beverley. Like, I understand rotating, but literally Kawhi rotated here. So once Kawhi rotates, what are you doing rotating again? Chris Middleton's not a threat here. Kawhi's there. And then what happens is Patrick Beverley literally just loses Giannis. And I'm sorry. If you think any of these players at this moment were capable of stopping Giannis from dunking this ball, you're insane. You're actually insane. This man is, what, almost 7 feet tall, 250 pounds? None of these 3 dudes, they could have all jumped at the same time, honestly. None of them would have stopped this play. Absolutely not. Curry jumps into Schroder, shooting a 3, and hits him in the face. Foul was called on Schroder. It's horrible. This is an absolutely terrible call. All right. The reason they call this, and this is why people, let's see, I guarantee maybe someone will say it in the comments, but so like this is a defensive foul according to the rule, literally because Schroder is in the space where Steph Curry lands. This is like the worst foul ever. But because his feet are there, right, it has nothing to do with this upper. The only reason, and the reason this wasn't overturned, is literally because Steph Curry, where he lands, and Schroeder's there. I mean, you can see he's in the landing area. And that's why the call is the call, even though Steph Curry literally elbowed him in the face. Because where Schroeder is standing, this rule is horrible, trust me. It's the right call, technically. Like, Schroeder can't be standing there. It's such a bad rule, but it's the rule. The rules need to change. Couldn't agree more. And the only way you can think it's acceptable is if you go by the current rules, which, I mean, it's a foul. Like, you can't land in the area. It is such a bad rule. All right, let's see what they're saying. This is the lowest foul call rating in the history of the NBA. That's insane. There are factors to consider here, though. For one, defenders don't play defense as tight as they used to. That's debatable. That's actually debatable. People love saying this. It is a lot harder to play defense, but people still touch each other on defense. Like, they don't want you touching anyone, but in certain places of the games, I've seen it. Players grab, they still touch each other on defense, and sometimes they get away with it, sometimes they don't. But, I mean, the foul calling is just not consistent, I would say. The kind of fouls being called and how... Exactly. Like, if they were consistent, like, sometimes This play literally won't get called sometimes. So it's like, if you're going to call this, call it consistently. If the rip-through isn't a natural shooting motion, there's no way in hell this is. This isn't a natural. This is literally trying someone to go for a foul. He ball fakes a jumper, jumps into Schroder with the only contact being Curry's elbow on Schroder's face. Because, again, you don't understand that the foul is actually on the bottom half of his body. Like, the whole point of the foul is to protect shooters when they land. That the refs know without flops and selling, you'd be amazed watching how with no real effort to steal the call. If it was a foul, you had to call. That, again, I don't agree with this. I'll go back and I'll watch games from the 90s, and you'll see players selling contact. It's always been a thing where it's not as apparent as it is today, but don't act like players weren't yelling at the refs for calls like before 2000. It's a thing. You can watch it on tape. Tons of players have done it throughout the entire history of basketball. Players complain. It's natural competitive. Let's get off this thread. Even after a challenge, the call was stood. Like I explained, it had to stand because it's literally the rule. The Hayward one was much worse. Since Hayward didn't bite on a fake. All right, let's see the Hayward one. So, this one's way worse. Oh, this one is like not even close. At least Hayward didn't even do anything here. Literally, this is an offensive foul right there. That's an offensive foul. No question about it. Yeah, see, like, players have, but literally, let's watch Walt Frazier do it. Because, like I'm saying, like, everyone does this throughout the history of basketball. Like, it's just a thing. Let's see, swings it over. This is old school basketball. Gets a good fake, and see, it's not like something new. It's stupid. The league said they're trying to protect shooters, but safety, but really they're trying to protect offensive. They are trying to protect it. It's hard. It's just a hard situation the league's put in because jump shots are actually the most dangerous plays. As crazy as it sounds. All right, the Kings are up 8 with a minute left, 2 free throws and possession, and they lost this game. And if you've ever watched the Kings in the past 2 years since they got Luke Walton, you should have 100% expected this. This guy, Luke Walton, he is the worst coach in the NBA. We got to be more subtle with the tank. They're not getting Cade Cunningham. I'm sorry. There's absolutely no way. He's going to the Rockets. Or, who knows? The lottery's so weird now. Who even knows? Top 5 Kingsiest games of all time. It's up there with the one last year where they drew up a half-court shot for Bielitsa. I mean, that was horrible. This game's even crazier. Like, this comment has nothing even to do with this game. Oh, this poor guy. As someone who supports the Falcons and Kings, this isn't even the worst joke job you've ever seen. This game literally made... Yeah, Luke Walton is the god-tier tank commander. And they can't contend with him. As long as he's the coach, he's literally horrible. This game is embarrassing. Like, no one's even talking about what happened. I mean, PJ Washington makes a 3, and then you miss free throws, and then it goes down, and you let up an and 1. Embarrassing. Like, their team is just an embarrassment. 6 missed free throws in a row. How does that happen for a professional basketball team? A professional basketball team missing 6 free throws in a row? That's unacceptable. I mean, it's beyond unacceptable. The only way that happens is literally... Honestly, what time is it? It's probably 3 o'clock in the morning. They should still be in the gym shooting free throws right now after that. They literally... Every single player on that team has to be shooting free throws all night. They shouldn't be going to bed till like 7 o'clock in the morning. LeBron drills the deep 3 to beat the first half buzzer. Dude, he is... This guy's different, yo. This guy is straight up unbelievable. Would this be a first-round matchup? Oh, my God. They would get killed. The Warriors would lose in 4. If they somehow won, though, oh, my God. Oh, my God. Dennis Schroder, plus 33 in the first half. They didn't have this guy in that 4-game losing streak, do you remember? Comes back, and they look so much better because he can do things with the ball, and LeBron doesn't have to do literally every single thing. They brought in Caruso. Caruso gave them some good minutes. Harrell's amazing. Lay you 3. Good night. I don't know why I said goodbye. Good night. LeBron, he does not. He's always had a great jump shot. I didn't even read this one. How much his shot developed. Even in his young Cavs days, people who watched him live back then knows what I'm talking about. His jump shot was more rhythm-based, and the league was also different. okay, I don't know about a great jump shot. He's had a good jump shot. When he got to Miami, it definitely started progressing more. And I think working with Ray Allen and Mike Miller definitely helped that progression. Let's not get ourselves here. Now he's a great shooter. Before 2015, I'd say he was good at it. He was getting good at it. And then like that 2015 Cavs LeBron, just different. Literally just different. Ever since then, his shooting has been great. We can say that. But not to say always. He wasn't always a great jump shooter. Sometimes he would be on, per se, but this comment is so strange. Reads like a freshman's English college essay where there is a word count limit and a student is trying to hit that by a senseless score of even when he was battered every time he drives. Bro, some people that love LeBron, they just love the dude, bro. They'll do anything. The demise of the Lakers has been greatly exaggerated. If we look at the standings, they're literally second. They were like top 4. I mean, the Anthony Davis, their most, I don't know. LeBron's definitely the most important player, but their best defensive player, I would say, Anthony Davis, isn't even playing. This guy just missed a pair of free throws earlier, and now hit this. Free throws is completely different. Just because you can make free throws doesn't mean you're going to be a great three-point shooter. Just because you're going to be a great three-point shooter doesn't mean you're going to be a great free throw shooter. It's just really weird how that works, but that's just how it works. LeBron only in the MVP conversation due to narrative. What? Let's just talk about this for a second. He is the MVP of the league, right? If you ask me, it's him or Joel Embiid. I don't see how there's any other player that would have a discussion for it. Kevin Durant started missing too many games. Jokic just fell off for a few weeks. Only people consistent, in my opinion, LeBron, Joel. LeBron's played every game, so it's right there, but Joel's team literally has no shot without him, though. Don't tell me Ben Simmons is enough, because he's not. He's not. This poor Warriors fan. But, temper, let's be honest, the team isn't pretty good, and the 3 ain't falling. They're really bad. Like, why even, if you're a Warriors fan right now, it's like, there's nothing to care about. Like, every game you should be excited to watch the Big Jim play. That dude's electric. When I turn a Warriors game on, I'm literally turning it on to watch Steph Curry shoot threes and to watch James Wiseman develop. Talking about a kid that's literally played high school and then went to the NBA. How could you not be wanting to watch James Wiseman play? That's why I watch the Warriors. I have no hope for this year. You should literally watch with optimism. Tatum drives and finishes the tough shot to put the Celtics up 1 with 4 left. This game was just insane. Horrible pass. Alright, before we even finish this highlight. This, unacceptable. Bradley Beal, I know Hachimura is the help, but you just can't let Bradley Beal try to cover him. It's too easy. Hachimura's contest is horrible. This was just a crazy sequence of events. Let's see, do they have the play? Yeah, Tatum scores 6 in a row, and he forces the turnover on Bradley Beal. Let's see, they don't even have it. 2 insane finishes at the rim. He just took over the game. Dude, the Celtics-Lakers-Sixers rivalry. Weirdest rivalry. Lakers might be the only basketball club that constantly is a top post about another team. Such a loser fan base. Well, they have 16 titles or whatever. True, but it's close. Sixers fans have it a celebratory. Yeah, these teams just love hating on each other. Like, if you go to these threads, let's say Celtics fair, I guarantee. No. Can't believe that wasn't a foul. It didn't even look like a foul with the replay. We can watch it back, but I don't think the replay's there. Tatum literally carried them. This dude has been unstoppable the last few minutes. He's not an all-star, though. Okay. Him and Jaylen Brown are both amazing. Yeah, dude, Pritchard. That Pritchard. The beginning of the play. This pass is not a good pass. It's literally not. 2 people there. Pritchard somehow saves it. Then gets to Tatum on the switch, and the play's over after that. Literally, the legit MVP of that play. The last time the Knicks were 18-17, they went to the NBA Finals. Do what you please with the information, but I, for one, would like to welcome our new Eastern Conference overlords. Nothing but respect for Julius Randle. So good this year. And not only that, Tom Thibodeau. He's the reason. They've been playing amazing defense. Is Julius picking up the most improved player this season? I think so. I would say right now he's the most improved. Knicks fans will destroy the city if this happens this season. If the Knicks make the playoffs, yeah, everything in New York is out the window. That would be the most insane thing. If you want to see something crazier, which I'm surprised isn't right here, is them beating the Nets in the playoffs, which would completely break the NBA. The NBA would be completely broken. The 1999 Knicks won their next game to move to 1917. 2018 Knicks are 18-18. The Knicks have to win their next. All right, so everyone, next Knicks game, they play the Spurs next. Wow. The game they lost in 2018 to fall to 18-19 was none other than the Spurs. It's a revenge game then. You guys should write the ESPN narratives. They just made me more hyped for the Knicks to beat the Spurs and go undefeated for the rest of the season. ESPN gets its ideas from Reddit. It's true, they do. That's where I get my ideas. It's the only reason I had this idea. Reddit's the best. He won't win. Who would win at most improved player then? Jeremiah Grant? Wood got hurt. Christian Wood was my favorite, but he 100% got hurt. I don't think how you could put Grant over him when his team is winning because of him. It just makes no sense to me. The most improved player this year is Julius Randle right now. Even if Christian Wood comes back and continues to dominate like he was, I think that Julius Randle's team success, you have to give it to him. Like he's literally the reason the Knicks are like a decent team right now. Like without him and Emmanuel Quickly, this team would be literally horrible. And Derrick Rose too. And of course, Tom Thibodeau. Knicks versus Lakers, New York in 7. New York in 4. Knicks haven't won a finals without beating the Lakers. Interesting. New York in 4, you mean? That's funny. Emmanuel Quickly to make a 4-point play over LeBron to beat the Lakers. This solved everything. Listen, I think we can force at least the Knicks and this Quickly kid, he's the future. So this kid is going to be the future of the NBA. If you watch him play, he's amazing. He is simply different, yo. Let's talk about this dude, P.J. Washington. 42 points, 9 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 blocks, 2 steals, 5 for 8 from 3. Like, oh my god, you wouldn't even know this guy's the center. Chris Paul career high in 16 years, 43. P.J. Washington, 42. Is P.J. Washington better than Chris Paul? Or is he the same? Maybe. I don't know. Just showed people his ceiling is higher than expected. He hasn't been playing for what? He hasn't really been playing as strong as this year. Last year was good. Last year he had a good little breakout year. He reminds me a bit of prime Paul Millsap. Oh, I like that comparison. That's a really good comparison. Brandon Jennings once scored 50. Okay, Brandon Jennings was a point guard who couldn't play defense and was 6 feet tall. P.J. Washington is 6'10", like 220, can shoot the ball well, does a lot of other things well. Exactly. I mean, I'm just saying, like, Corey Maggette once scored 51. Jeez. Charlotte is spooky. No one foils MJ for 14 years straight. Charlotte, interesting team. They could make the playoffs. I mean, I could see it happening. Giannis tonight. 36, 14, 5, 4, 1, 2 for 7 from 3, 4 for 6 from the line. Acumpo now solidly in the MVP conversation. Really. I agree. I think with that performance last night, 17 of the last 22 points in the fourth, how do you not put him in that conversation? He did take over on both ends in that fourth, played unbelievable defense on everyone. Paul George, Kawhi, didn't even matter who was shooting or doing anything. Giannis was the one defending. That dunk sequence was hype. When I saw Giannis get the ball in open space, when he caught the ball, the possession was over. I explained it. It was literally over. I mean, how is that even fair? His numbers may have been better last year, but he's playing the best basketball of his career, better in the post. Yep, I couldn't agree more. This finally being used in more pick and rolls, fewer 1-on-5 plays. It's partly because of Drew Holiday being there, but also he's playing more. When you play more, your stats are going to go up. It's just a fact. Bud's playing him a lot more. I think he's averaging close to 37, 38 minutes, almost 8 more minutes. That's almost a full more quarter of basketball he's playing now this year. Averaged 31, 12, 6, and 2 in February. Some days his free throw shooting's there. Other days, yikes. I mean, his shot is it's developing, you could say. It's gotten better after getting worse. That makes sense. If you know when he came into the league, he actually could shoot. And then, he stopped shooting, so he got worse at it. And now he's trying to get the skill back. So it's a weird development for Giannis. The media might finally put him in the top 100 on them. Probably not. The media probably doesn't even know he's playing well, honestly. I guarantee if you turn on any sports media, they probably won't even talk about Giannis. They're going to talk about Kawhi and Paul George and how they choked so badly. They don't give credit when a team wins. They only give credits to players that lose. It's really weird. You can never credit someone for being good. The post-game thread for the Knicks and the Pistons. So the Knicks, this takes them to the RJ is a bust crowd. It's okay to be wrong. I'm not going to lie to you guys. This was me for a few weeks. He's just not been playing well. Hasn't really been the focal point of the offense. Tonight, let's see what he dropped tonight. I think he led the team in points if I'm wrong. Where is it? Points. No, I was wrong. It was Randall, 25. R.J. Barrett tipped him 21. That's what he should be doing. As the shooting guard, sometimes he plays a little point too. He's a combo guard, can play the forward, but I don't think he's a bust. And he can play with IQ too. Oh, the IQ has hit the rookie wall? Stop it. He's different. He's just different. Back-to-back threes. If you do choose to watch the Knicks games, I'm telling you, you're going to fall in love with Quickly. He's the most fun player to watch. The Knicks have won 7 of the last 9 games. Currently the 4th seed in the East. 500 record. Easily the best Knicks team since the 2012 Melo team. Oh my God, that 2012 team. If you were watching, literally, last time the Knicks had any hope was 2012. And they had no hope. An elite defense will keep us in games even when our offense isn't clicking. Very true. The reason that they're actually able to compete so much is they play in a bunch of low-scoring games. Their defense is really good. We have young caps. We have a young core cap space in all of our draft picks, including the Mavs first rounder. They are in a much better position than they were in 2012. If we're this annoying being one game above, imagine us after the three-peat. The first one or the second one. Second one would suggest you losing at least one after the first three-peat. Not happening. Knicks fans are the best fans because they just are so crazy. That is a New York Knicks game thread right there, boys. Just I couldn't. Everything just in caps lock here. 7-3 since the road trees, 3-0 since starting them. Them boys is balling. Dude, D-Rose, he's playing some great basketball for this team. He loves playing for Thibodeau, man. Again, just turn the Knicks games on. I'm telling you, you literally would never think someone would recommend that to you. But I am, because I'm telling you, if you actually watch it, you will enjoy it. Especially if you like defense and gritty basketball and you don't like the way the NBA is today, you should actually watch the Knicks then. You'll become a fan of this team. The Grizzlies obliterate the Rockets. This just deserves to get talked about for a few seconds. They went on a 17-5 run in the last 3 minutes. That's the bench unit. I mean, this Rockets team, 23 turnovers, 23 made field goals. 4 for 45 from 3. Oh my God. And they get to play the Nets on ESPN on Wednesday. Oh God. You know that Kevin Durant's not going to play in that game, actually. But you know Harden and Kyrie are both going to drop 50. They might both drop 50. If the game somehow is close, which it won't be. I don't even know what I'm saying right now, because I'm just imagining that game. It's going to be such a murder. The Rockets had the same number of turnovers. Yep. This Rockets team, they better hope they got the number 1 pick, man. Our bench scored 85 points. Houston scored 84. Holy crap. This team is so bad. Literally, look at the score, 133-84. I'm actually not comprehending how badly this game went. Because I looked at it when it was going on live, and I was like, oh, this game's a blowout. But they actually got annihilated. Straight up annihilated. I mean, this is unacceptable. Professional basketball team. They lost by 50 points. 50. They made the same amount of field goals as they had turnovers. It's unacceptable. What is this stat? The Timberwolves are 0-11 this season in games Malik Beasley has scored 25 plus. 0-6 when Cat does it. 0-3 when Anthony Edwards does it. Do you know what this means? Do you know what this means? That's not how it bench these guys and win a title. No. Listen, This means your team has no idea how to play defense. And it's true. Also, Cat hasn't been playing the whole year. Got to put that into consideration too. D'Angelo Russell hasn't been playing. But this team, they can bring back, it could be fully healthy. They do not play defense. None. Zero. Literally no defense. You can't win without playing some defense unless you're the Brooklyn Nets and you're going to drop 150 every night. 0-1 in games, Naz Reid scores. Oh, not Naz Reid too. Not Naz Reid guy. Sneaky good player. The key to winning games is to not score. Maybe the key to winning games is to stop the other team from scoring while scoring. They score while let the other team score double the amount they score. It's so painful to watch this team. They have all the talent and they can't put it together. This year, mostly due to COVID and injuries. I like to see some veterans added to the team at the deadline. Not at the deadline. Free agency. This year's a wash. You might as well just sit Cat and just make sure he's like, I don't even know. This year was such a wash for them. They need the number one pick or else the Warriors will get their pick. The Warriors get their pick if it's out of the top 4. So why even try to win games at this point? Why? Literally, why? All right, post-game thread. The Heat beat the Hawks. And I believe this is a game where Trae Young basically just didn't do like anything. Almost had the triple-double. So John Collins, this guy went off. Didn't he drop like 30? I think he like balled or something. Yeah, 34 points, but they didn't even play Jimmy Butler. And this Hawks team is supposed to be so much better. The Heat be very upset if we took the bag at Oladipo instead of Collins. Honestly, either one of them is a good pickup. You get either one of them, your team would be much better. So this is what it feels like to be a 5. They're coming. They're going to come. They're going to, they'll be in the playoffs. To say they won't be is a joke. With 3:38 to go, John Collins drilled a 3 to tie the game at 95, and they got outscored 14-4 the rest of the way. I mean, what do you want me to tell you? Trae Young is your offense, right? When he's not going, when he's not distributing, when John Collins isn't getting it, it's like, what is there? They don't have Bogdanovich. Bogdanovich really screwed them. With him, they get another instant offense player that they could have maybe used here, but it's going to be Collins or Trae pretty much every night. They got to do everything for you. Reddish, he's not there. So it's just those two players literally you're relying. I don't want to over-exaggerate with the Heat. They never lose again. But here come the Orlando Magic. Bulls also love to suddenly dump on us whenever we're winning. It's Riley retiring 23. He jinxed that. Would have loved a Jimbo number 23 jersey with the Heat. Wow, I didn't even realize that. LeBron and Jimbo both weren't number 23 and were before. Yeah, what number is he on the Heat? I've never even noticed this. Is he 22? I think he's 22 on the Heat. This game was, there were so many insane games on. The Celtics and this Wizards game. And the Wizards should not have lost, as I went over earlier. Fire Scott Brooks. I don't even think that would have fixed what happened. Scott Brooks is wasting. He should have called a timeout at that last. But you guys have the players to make the playoffs. This is a controversial statement. Let me tell you why. Because their team is actually a lot more injured than you think, and it's actually not that good. Like when Raul Neto is playing like 20, how many minutes did he play in this game? This is what I'm telling you. 26 minutes. Like when Raul Neto is playing 26 minutes, there's something wrong with the team. Like, I don't know how it's just like Garrison Matthews, 15 minutes. There's something wrong with the team that you've built. I wouldn't say this is a good enough team for the playoffs. The only reason you are saying that is because Russell Westbrook is on this team. The fact that Russell Westbrook, the literal new guy on the team, had to ask his teammates to hold a team meeting to get their roles right tells you all. It's not even about Scott Brooks' coaching effectiveness. The players' roles just weren't correct. Like, I don't know how to explain it. As a coach, you draw up a scheme, right? And your scheme literally doesn't work. So what you do is you go and you say, okay, look, listen. What we're trying isn't working. We need a new scheme. So you say, Westbrook, we're going to need you to do everything like you did in OKC. He goes and does that. They start winning. Scott Brooks was his coach in OKC. So I wouldn't even say this is anyone's fault. Like, Russell Westbrook just happens to be an unbelievably talented player where he can drag whoever's on his team to the playoffs if you let him play how he wants to play. I think Scott Brooks has unleashed him But he's not a good coach by any means, don't get me wrong. But again, I don't think this team really has that great of talent. It's just Russell Westbrook literally being Russell Westbrook. I don't know how to explain it. Like, when you have Bradley Beal dropping 40 and you have Russell Westbrook who just makes everyone better no matter who's on the court with him. Like, if you got, like, real much better role players that play. Like, if Hachimura took that next step, we'd have a discussion here. Or if you had maybe, like, a better backups. But, I can't blame them because Thomas Bryant, he's gone. Another player they had is gone for the year. I can't remember his name. But they had 2 starters who literally got hurt to begin the year. It's like, you're playing at a disadvantage already. Unless Russell Westbrook continues to just go God mode and make good decisions at the end of the game, you're going to be screwed. Just won't do it for the Wizards. Because you're not going to get a better coach. The reason they're not going to fire him is because you're not going to go out there and get a better coach that Russell Westbrook's going to want to play with too. And that was an idiotic thread. I agree. The coaching I agree. It was bad. All right. I'm not going to say it wasn't. That runs a play where Westbrook shoots a 3 to get Boston. That's Russell Westbrook. Doesn't call timeout when Tatum gets doesn't because he trusts his team. I mean, it's just bad coaching. I'm not going to sit here and say it's not bad coaching, but you just have to let your players make bad plays sometimes. It's going to happen. That's the classic Brooks hero ball play call. Just give the ball to the best player in play. The thing is, Bradley Beal got a good shot off. The Celtics defended the play well. Again, there's no credit to where credit's due. You watch the play, you literally can see Bradley Beal. He gets trapped in the corner. They weren't expecting that. They ran a play, but then the Celtics, they literally cut off the middle. The guy in the middle couldn't get the ball. So Bradley Beal, what does he do? He fades away, and he almost makes the shot. I mean, no one's going to talk about that, but he literally almost made that shot somehow still because he's their best player. He tried to play hero ball, and, it just didn't work. And it is all coaching. I'm not going to sit here and say it's not all coaching. But, sometimes it just doesn't work, and you lose games, and things like this happen. Doesn't mean you just give up and fire. 6-0 Tatum run over the final 40. You can't make that up. Major defensive play. Yeah, they played good. I mean, the Celtics, again, you got to give the Celtics credit. They trapped on the baseline, made Bradley Beal fall out of bounds. It's good basketball from one team, horrible basketball from the other. All right, so after the game, Steph Curry makes this comment. Teams still want to beat us and beat us bad. They still have a lot of memories from the last 5 years. True, sort of. I don't know if you remember, Steph, but like last year, the last 5 years, last year's part of it, and you guys were horrible. This year, sure, you're a little bit better, but this is going to sound crazy. Basketball teams play to win, not to lose. When you're shooting threes and throwing careless turnovers as a team, the other team's just going to score more points. It's not really a thing of trying to beat you badly. It's the fact that you played so poorly and you gave the other team so many opportunities so they scored a lot of points while you didn't score any. If that makes sense, because that's not what happened. It's not like teams are going out there to try to give them the beatdown. Teams are going out there to try to win, and as a result of the way you're playing, you're getting beat down. It's not them intentionally doing that. You guys got beat down because you played poorly. Let's not kid ourselves here. I'm not even going to read this quote. Why do reporters just appreciate? He said Draymond said this to them at halftime. Let's see this. Thought this was interesting for Steph. Draymond said it a little bit at halftime. You remember, even when we were playing bad, we won 3 in a row. Okay, see, this quote and what I just saw are not the same thing. This is a completely different quote. All right, so Draymond said it a little bit at halftime. We have to remember, even when we're playing well, we won 3 in a row. Teams still want to beat us and beat us bad. They still have a lot of memories from the last 5-6 years. Again, I just don't agree. I really just don't agree. I think that if you play better, that won't happen. Like, I don't know why you have to blame things on it. Blame it on yourself. I mean, Steph Curry literally said it himself. He agreed with Draymond, so I don't agree with this comment. All right, so did a few different ways of doing this in this episode, I guess you could say. I just don't know what's better. Should I go through the highlights that I see on here and then go through the comments? Only go through the comments? I don't know. Let me know in the comments what you think or how I should approach it. I kind of like doing both at the same time, but who knows? We'll see where it goes.